All right, we're going to talk to the women. This is uh, this is me talking to the women tonight, today, this afternoon. Um, I've been working on this dads in recovery thing for 3+ years, and I've been approaching the men often. I know lots of men who, in my opinion, really need friggin' help with being the dad that they want to be, and but it's been difficult. It's been like, Jesus, it's often they're in denial, like real denial, and often they want to blame the women. You know, she won't let me see the kids, and so I want to talk to the women. Um, what's going on with the father of your children? How's it working? Um, I have lots of questions. So when you married him, was he a mature man? If not, what has happened in the interim that makes you think that he's going to be a mature man? What does a mature man look like? Um, let's say that things aren't going well, that you've left him or he's left you or something's gone on. Like men in the early stages of the romance, they put their best foot forward. They oversell like crazy shit, and women often get a bit tricked. I'm not saying that you're a victim, but you get a bit tricked thinking, well, maybe he'll work out, even though there's red flags. Maybe even if he was still drinking or using at the time, because mostly I'm dealing with dads who are in recovery. So but it takes a long time for them to grow up or even to realize or even to find other men in their lives that can help them to see where they have missed the mark, you know. But I'm having struggle getting through to them because I think they like to pretend that it's hopeless, that the damage is done. And I'm of a different mind. I believe that no matter how old the kids are, that dad can rekindle the relationship. And I have a story about my brother actually, who, is in his 70s, closing in on his 80s, and who's rekindled his relationship with his boys who are in their 50s. And it's just makes my heart, skip a beat. He just flew down to the East Coast and spent time with them. But so it takes sometimes a long time for the doors to open. But anyway, back to the women. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think the problem is? I believe with all my heart that no matter how badly he's fucked up and how badly he's broken the trust, because that's what's happened, trust has been broken. Um, and it can go both ways, but we're not talking about that right now. No matter how badly this has got screwed up, that moms want their kids to have a participating dad. I believe that. I really think they do. But it's scary. It's like, right? Am I way off base here? It's scary to send your kids off with this guy who has been sometimes so inconsiderate, didn't show up, didn't make appointments, didn't the stuff that we did, especially back in the drinking and using days, spent all the money. Um, so it's hard to trust and I'm when I'm talking to the men, I encourage them. This takes time, consistency and time. And yes, if you're unable to see your children, to just at least have a picture of them and pray that the relationship will be healed. Anyway, so tell me, gals, women, moms, what's the story? I think actually you're the key for me to help your men. I think you have to tell them, hey, there's this old fart who's been married twice, got, 3 kids, two with the first lady and one with the second, and went through it. You know, um, I sobered up when I was 25, and I really you know, maturing has been a long, hard process of growing up, you know, and some days I'm not very, but it's been a process. I've become a lifetime student of you know, of spiritual philosophies and learning. You know, I've been involved with men and men's groups since 1999, and seeing where I messed up and seeing how can I be a better and more responsible father and all of those things. So my aim is to pass that along and to help men to become the men that they want to be. And I think women want that. So tell me, I want to hear from the women. I don't care if you don't want to post on here, uh, you know, message me privately. And you know, is it your kids having a dad important? Is you know, rebuilding that trust, is it important? You know, yeah, tell me about it. I want to learn from the women. So that's it for today. Love you guys, and this thing, by the way, just will not go away. Um, I just, you know, I realized that you know, of all these years of parenting, and even though I was sober, I was not a, you know, a great example of a dad, and you know, I'm so grateful that my kids now are you know, they're grown up, and they call me. You know, we talk. We have a relationship. My daughter lives in the West Coast, and I go and visit her and her husband, and I'm welcome there, and it's beautiful. And my grandkids love me, and I have a son that's overseas, and he's invited me to come and visit him this year. And you know, it's great. And my son that lives in the city, we talk, you know, 2 3 times a week, and not about anything, just stuff. You know, how you doing? And so it's beautiful. And I think that's what all dads would want. You know, I have a sober living house here, and the men, when they come to live here, they're just amazed at the relationship I have with my kids. So I want to share with other men how that can be, how that can happen. It's always not always been, you know, 100% like that. There's been some tough years, and my kids had to go through their sobriety stuff and find their way, and but I was able to be there. So, and no matter how bad it's gotten, it can be healed. But women, I want to hear from you. So tell me what you think, and you know what your experience is, and you know, maybe this is a crazy idea, but I think there's a lot of men and a lot of families out there, and a lot of children out there that want their dads, and dads need some pruning, some, and I can tell them what the therapist won't, and um, yeah, that's it. Okay, love you, love your kids. Thank you.